Sports. I'm sports writer Matt Spielman. With me tonight are Terry Gray, the head football coach at Frewsburg, along with assistant coach Adam Loftus and quarterback Trent Gray. The Bears are off to a 2-3 start this year, and their offense has been flying. Terry, what's it like to see things that I'm sure you were going through in the summer and through practice and see things come together offensively like you obviously had hoped?
You know, the first thing is you appreciate all the work that the kids put in to get to that point, and to be able to see them be successful in that part is certainly gratifying.
Trent, you're off to a hot start here, 9 touchdowns and a pick, and 2 of your receivers are among state leaders according to Max Preps. What's it like? How's it to work with Caleb and Cordell O'Brien? What's it been like, through the summer just to get that chemistry?
It's been really great because especially Caleb and Cordell both came big really through the summer, and they both really improved and hit the weight room. And they've made my job a heck of a lot easier, I'll tell you what.
Now, I know defensively, I think the second half this past week has seemed to come together a little bit, but do you numbers-wise, you're, I think, the smallest Class D team in the section with the mergers and everything. Is that where you see the numbers problems the biggest is on defense, or both ways, trying to play both ways?
Yeah, I think it's just we have 15, 14 players that are playing every snap, offense, defense, special teams. You're one player away at key positions. If they need a break, if they get dinged up, if they come out, you're replacing them with a young kid. And so, in the first few weeks, we felt like we wore down as the third and fourth quarter came on. And it's an interesting thing to think about, though, as a coach, because believe me, we think about it all. So you go into camp with 32 kids, and you need to tackle, and you need to run, and you need to hit the sled, but you can't get hurt. And so we have that fine medium. We can't practice live because our scout team is the JV team. There's not a second offensive team or a second defense. And so we felt like after the Maple Grove game, we really had to reevaluate because we were physically manhandled in that game. And basically we said, we have to start tackling, we have to start running harder, and we hope we don't get injured, but to play another game like that one, we weren't going to do it. So we went back to some old, it's unique. I think the roots of me will always be old-fashioned. I came up, through Pat Slater's system in the Power I, and then went to Chris Krantz in the Power I, and I'm a lineman. And even though I've learned quarterback skills in the spread offense, football is about blocking and tackling, even in the spread. And so if I was just an offensive coordinator, it would be great to watch my team. But I'm the head coach, and our defense wasn't playing well. And it was our fault. We needed to block and tackle. And we feel like for a half at least we've fixed that, or in the process of fixing that. We'll find out more next Friday.
Adam, I know that the senior class at Frewsburg last year was a good group of boys, and when you look offensively, you got Trent back, you got Caleb, you got Cordell, but it seems like maybe defensively where you lose, Brady Culver and Cole Brink and Sean McDonald and Josh Peterson, is that where you're seeing those guys, even more than the offensive side of the ball, but you lost a lot of defenders?
It's definitely difficult to fill those guys' shoes, especially those guys were starters for 2 or 3 years. So you figure you're replacing them with kids that have only played 1 year or maybe 2 or even at JV level. And also not having Trent being one of our better players, that kind of hurts us too, but we have to make sure we keep him safe on the offensive side. But the good thing is we have a lot of smart kids. They pay attention, and they're learning every single day, and I think our defense, even though it's been a struggle, has gotten better in the last couple weeks, and it's still growing and continuing to develop as the season goes along.
Terry, I think maybe people don't realize how much film study goes into high school football when you talk about the pros in college, but all the way down to high school. I know you've talked about how much your son, he's having a great year at quarterback, and I think a lot of that probably comes through film study.
Film slows the game down. I told the kids it's like having a cheat sheet for a test. Not that we condone the cheat sheet for the test, but it really is. You're able to see the more time you put in, it slows down everything. We really would like our kids to be students of the game. It's part of our whole philosophy. Years ago when I used to talk to Scott in our first years, I said, when we're all done, I hope we can use the game of football to teach these kids about life. So they understand concepts of offenses and defenses, and this film study does nothing but help them with that, identifying linebackers and safeties and down linemen, and how can it be a 4-3 if there's only 3 down linemen? Well, we got to find the 4. It's like playing Clue, So the kids have done a great job. Every night of the week, it seems like there's kids meeting. Hey, we're meeting. Linemen are meeting Wednesday night. And Trent's meeting with all the skill guys on Tuesday nights, and Thursday night's team dinner, and afterwards they get together. It's really changed. The game has really changed, and I'm proud of their effort. Our kids have always been character kids. They've always worked really hard. So, and this is no different.
And Trent, you guys sit at 2 and 3, but you look and you have the 3 state-ranked Class D teams out of the way. It seems like if you guys, you got to be shooting for those 4 wins and hopefully get that 4 seed for a home game. Has that been talked about the next 2 games coming up?
Mostly we're focused on week to week, but it's always the goal to just win out. And the way we've been practicing and working the last couple weeks, we've been getting better and better every week. Our wideouts have been playing great on offense. Our defense is starting to pick it up. And I'm feeling pretty good about it.
All right, well, good luck.
Not forget about our offensive line. I think that's kind of been missed a little bit. I'm that guy. So,
I think Cole and Gregory and San Filippo back this year probably a big help there.
And then Bryce Gibbons coming in. He's our leader in the weight room as a junior. He's the strongest kid in our program. And then things like the unsung hero people, like Hunter Whippo, who's a 2-year fullback, moving to center. Had to move him to guard first and promise him he could pull. I said, you're just a fullback, up another step. And then I had to move him to center after camp. And it's unselfish acts like that. He's a big boy that have allowed our line. I think, I don't know if he's been sacked 10 times this year. And we're throwing 30 to 40 times a game. So I'm really proud of those linemen. There's only 6 of them. We have 6 varsity linemen to play 5 spots. So, I'm proud of their effort, too.
All right, well, good luck this weekend at Randolph, and hopefully you guys can win out and get that home playoff game that you're probably hoping for.